Hello and welcome to the Commander's Quarters, your Magic the Gathering source that helps you command your budget. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all their support. Hey everyone, Mitch coming in from the Commander's Quarters studio. Welcome to the show, and today joining me on the show is Eddie.
Hello there.
So Eddie's been on, well, a good amount of episodes, podcast episodes, the Close Quarters episode. He actually won that one, unfortunately. Definitely cheated during it, 100% cheated. Comment below on how he cheated to win. We haven't figured it out yet.
I think it had something to do with the golden ticket. It's not actually a legal card.
True, the card is banned in Legacy. Not in Commander yet. Rules Committee, get on that, please. Mm-hmm. But Eddie, today we're not talking about a golden ticket. What are we talking about?
We're talking about something maybe as powerful as a golden ticket, and that is partner commanders.
Okay.
And are they too powerful for the format?
So what you're saying is, are partner commanders going to kill the format?
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Everyone
for sure.
panic right now. It's going to happen. Definitely just skip the rest of this episode. Eddie is going to say, yes, it's going to kill the format.
Yeah, we're done here.
That's it. Wrap it up. It's a short edit for me.
All right. So Partner is returning in a big way for Commander Legends. There's going to be 41 new Partner Commanders.
Sheesh. Okay.
Yeah. They're all monocolored. There's one nifty little guy called the Prismatic Piper that we'll talk about in depth.
Mm-hmm.
And we thought this warranted a conversation about Partner as a mechanic, whether it's good for the format, bad for the format, maybe somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Because Partner is known to be a very powerful effect. It's run rampant in the competitive EDH scene.
Yep.
And so if we introduce 41 new partners, is that gonna be something that could potentially cause some significant damage
Would
to Commander?
that break the format in half?
Yeah, would it?
In thirds.
And we'll talk all about that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So I think first we need to start off with kind of what is Partner exactly? What partners are currently out there? When did they start? I believe the first ones were those 15 two-color pairings back in 2016.
Yes. Yeah. So C16, the partners were introduced in that set. They weren't the face commanders, but they were included in the 99 of those decks.
I think there were 3 for each deck, I think, out of all 5. Is that kind of math? Math checks out.
The math checks out because there were 15 in that set.
Yep.
You got a couple right in front of you.
I do.
Take your pick there.
I do. Let's talk about Vile Smasher the Fierce. Little goblin dude with like a grenade thing.
Does she?
Oh, sorry. She has a grenade.
She does.
She is a 2/3 Goblin Berserker. Says whenever you cast your first spell each turn, Vile Smasher the Fierce deals damage equal to that spell's converted mana cost to an opponent chosen at random, and she has Partner.
Yeah, and so Partner came in a few different flavors throughout the years. What's this version?
This version says you can have 2 commanders if both have Partner.
Right, so pretty generic. So any of the 15 that were in that set can be mixed and matched however you see fit.
Yep.
Since they were in 2 colors, if you wanted to, you could run the 2 Simic commanders, Kydel and Thrasios, or you could overlap just a little bit and do a Simic plus a Gruul.
Yep.
Or you could go all out and just make a 4-color commander deck and have everything but 1 color since they're 2 colors.
So basically your combinations that were available are 2-color, 3-color, 4-color, not 5, not 1 with partners at that time.
Right. Okay. And so it's been about 4 years since those hit the format. None of them have been banned. But they have been controversial, and we'll talk about that more in a second. The next iteration on Partner came just a couple years ago in Battle Bond.
Yep.
So that's when they realized that the free-form, no restriction partner with any other partner mechanic could be problematic.
Yep.
And so to prevent that from just causing even more damage, they created Partner with.
Yep.
And so in Battle Bond, there were several examples of this. There was like Krav and Regna.
Yep. Pure and Toothy
were very popular. And then they reintroduced that in C20 just this year.
Yep.
I've got a couple in front of me from a deck that I have. Haldon and Paco.
Yeah, good boy, bestest of boys.
US bestest of boys. Used to be an elemental hound, now an elemental dog.
Yeah. That's a quick errata.
Yeah, he was the last hound, I think.
Came out and they're like, oh, no, it's a dog now.
Yep. So Partner With changes the text here a little bit. It says, when this creature enters the battlefield, target player may put Paco, in this case, into their hand from their library and then shuffle. So this changes the way that it plays in a couple ways.
Yep.
Number one, in the command zone, you can't have like Haldon and Vile Smasher.
Yep.
That's not a thing.
No.
You have to have Haldon and Paco.
Yep.
So you're limited to, in this case, Teamer.
Yep.
Red, green, blue. As well as if you have these in the 99 of a deck,
Yep.
and you get one of them, you can play it and
get the other
search
one.
the other one to your hand. So it's kind of a pseudo card advantage.
Or if your buddy's got it in their deck too, you can just change that around and have them search.
Yeah, actually, this was really fun in Battle Bond Draft because you could have one in your two-headed giant pod and like have them go search for the other half. So it was a pretty nifty thing. It worked really well in Limited, and it prevented a lot of the power creep that the original partners had.
Actually, I might be wrong, but I don't remember. I don't think it was a May actually in Battle Bond, which actually kind of had some unintended consequences where you could just force an opponent to search for something they're not going to get to shuffle their library. So if they just tutored something, put it on top, and then you're like, and now you're going to search for a partner.
Yeah,
I could be very wrong about that, but I believe they changed that to a May now. I don't think it used to be. I could be wrong on that. So comment below once you look at the card and be like, yeah, that was wrong. Anyways.
Another thing about these is they were all in either 2-color pairs, like the Battle Bond ones, or 3-color pairs for C20. So there was no 4-color shenanigans here. And then finally, we've got the new Commander Legends. As of the time of this recording, we only have a few to choose from.
Like 4, I think they've shown so far.
We've got a couple uncommons, Baron Sengir, and the Prismatic Piper.
And then that there's a rare white one, the Keeper of the Forge or something like that, or whatnot. I don't know. You make tokens and you get planes. Yeah. Okay.
I think that one's just a good white card that they were excited to show.
Partner?
I don't think it has partner.
Come on.
All right. So these are all 41 monocolored partners, which is going to be the bulk of the why we're talking about this today. Mitch, do you want to take and talk about this one a little bit?
Yeah, sure. So at this point, it is. I mean, they did say it's going to only be 41 monocolored. So that seems like they realized that the first kind of iteration of partners was a bit too powerful, where they each had 2 colors, because that gives you access to essentially 4 colors. If you're building it right, you basically pick the 2 best commanders that you can and have the best 4-color combination that you want. Giving more access to more colors gives more access to more cards. You can do a lot more broken and powerful things the more colors that you have, if you have very synergistic commanders. With the monocolored ones, this is kind of like hey, we realized that 2 colors was probably a bit too much, so let's just pare it down to 1. They still want to, I've seen, Mark Rosewater's talked about how they really like the partner mechanic and they want to make it work, but they're just trying to find a way that works in a not too overly broken, powerful way.
Yeah, and this goes back to the 2016 version of partner where they're unrestricted. They don't have the partner with, so you could actually pair Baron Sengir with Thrasios, for example.
Yeah.
And so we're going back to that mechanic. It's not partner with. You can't play this monocolored partner and go search your deck for another partner. So
this one's more so it limits you to, at the most, if you want to play one of these, 3 colors, because you can still partner with the original partners. But if you want to partner with them, the current ones, they would be a 2-color deck then.
Yeah. And we wanted to bring up one thing that, as of the time of this recording, was causing a little bit of confusion in the community. So there's one partner in particular that was basically designed because Commander Legends is for draft. The card is called Prismatic Piper, has some epic artwork by Seth McKinnon. Shout out to you. And it says it's a legendary creature shapeshifter for 5, and it's a 3/3.
5 for a 3/3. That's a great deal.
Great. If the Prismatic Piper is your commander, choose a color before the game begins. The Prismatic Piper is the chosen color, and it has partner. So some of the confusion we saw around this card is people that read it maybe too quickly, who thought that you could pair it with literally any commander.
Not just a partner commander. You're like, I like Felgriff, but I've always wanted Felgriff to also have black. So Felgriff or Prismatic Piper. Evil hippo.
So that's actually not how it works. That's a Dave from Rhode Island reading of it for sure.
It's definitely intended for draft, where if you draft a lot of good red cards, but you don't end up with a red partner commander, you can just have Prismatic Piper say, okay, before the game it is red, and now I have access to red. Yeah,
and that's why it has a different rarity, actually, than any other one. It says
shows
S,
up more often.
and so it's almost like a basic land where if you don't draft it, you can just grab it from your LGS and play with Prismatic Piper as your commander.
Makes sense. It's also, funny enough, Pauper Commander now apparently is a thing because it is there.
That's true. That's interesting. We were going to also shout out, if you want to pair anything with any legendary, or not even legendary, I don't think.
No, it's any
card.
creature. I believe it's any creature. I think it's any creature.
Soul Advocate Eternal. Mitch has a whole episode on this
That was in my
guy.
The most unique commanders, the most exclusive commanders of all time, I believe it is. It's a really fun episode. But Soul, let me read this real quick. A 4/4 legendary partner, so you can have 2 commanders if this is one of them. The other one is promoted to legendary. It's got other things too, but that really doesn't matter. Basically, you can just go say, okay, yeah, I've always wanted this really broken creature to be my commander as well, and now it is. So that is not what Prismatic Piper does.
Not what it does, no.
So,
all right.
That is good. So now that we're over that.
Cleared the air on that.
Air has been cleared.
So, as we said, Partner has received some warranted and unwarranted critiques on its effect on the format. So, let's talk about maybe some of the harsher and more valid criticisms of Partner. Sure. How has it impacted Commander in maybe a negative way?
I like your first bullet point. Elephant in the room, Tymna and Thrasios.
Yeah, we got to talk about it. So, if you're not familiar with the current meta in competitive EDH, it's pretty much asserted that Tymna Thrasios is one of the top decks. There's a few others that can compete. There's Najeela. There's other combinations of Tymna and Thrasios.
Feldegriff, clearly.
Yeah. I don't think no one can compete with the Hippo, especially if you had black.
Exactly.
And so we wanted to just get this out there to begin with. So Partner has obviously had an impact on the format because it is known that these 2 partners pretty much can make the most powerful deck in the format.
Yeah, they're both powerful commanders on their own, and you get both of them, and that gives you twice the amount of colors that either of them would get.
Yep, so it gives you access to 4 colors, it gives you card draw in the command zone, it gives you an outlet for infinite mana, it does a lot of powerful things.
Clearly the top 4 colors are not including red.
In this case,
white is better than red. That is what the players are saying about Tymna Thrasios. So, clearly.
And so in reaction to this, we wanted to pull some stats for you. And on EDH Rec, we have 1,300 decks showing up for Tymna Thrasios. Another popular pair, the second most popular partnering of commanders on EDH Rec is Thrasios and Vial Smasher. That's actually a deck that I have. It's really fun. And that one has 1,100 decks on EDH Rec. All other partner pairs don't exceed the 1,000 deck mark as of the time of this recording on EDH Rec.
So, Eddie, in comparison, though, 1,000's a lot. But in comparison, what are some of the numbers for the more popular commanders? What are they at?
Yeah, so the other ones that we want to talk about in this case would be Muldrotha, there's Golos, Edgar Markov, Atraxa. Each of those individually has over 4,000 decks on EDH Rec. So I think this kind of points to the fact that Commander players aren't always in just pursuit of power. Whether it's because Tymna Thrasios are expensive. And it's tough to build a 4-color Commander deck on the cheap.
Hey, done plenty of times.
Kenrith has done some shenanigans.
It's 5 colors.
That's true. Yeah. So the format seems to have gone a different direction, even if it's going to result in a less powerful deck. And so we've self-regulated. So in that way, while a criticism of Partner is that it's too powerful, the data kind of show power isn't everything. Players want something more flavorful, something more individualized. So while Tymna Thrasios is great, a lot of people choose to go a different direction.
I mean, the fact that Feldegriff decks are out there, or Ghost Ship decks are out there, is that you don't need to build the most powerful deck to have fun.
Exactly. Some people purposefully don't do it.
Absolutely. So you've included on here a note about power level from Gavin Verhey. He had a little quote about comparing Commander Legends to Modern Horizons. And he said, "This isn't about a substantially increased power level. It is mechanically much closer to what you would find in a Magic set, just with a Commander bent."
Yeah, and so I took this as a message from Gavin saying, we know that when you see 41 new partners, people are going to be concerned about power level. We thought about that. And that, sure, there's going to be 1,500 or more new partner combinations.
I don't even want to know the math. Mitch, why can't you build a deck for every single combination?
30 years later.
Exactly.
And so just that they took this into account when they were designing the set. Sure, it's impossible to really play test that many decks, but they designed it with that in mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's inherently limiting that you have a 1-color commander versus a 2-color commander. That is a limitation that they thought about ahead of time to make sure that it would be less powerful, not as broken as the previous ones.
Yeah, and that's definitely one reason why Partner is a scary thing to begin with, as, Tymna and Thrasios, they have powerful effects, but the real draw is that you can play in 4 colors and still get those powerful effects.
Exactly. I mean, you've got if you're even just starting, I might be misspeaking here, but I believe the more powerful of the two when it comes to EDH is probably Thrasios, just because it kind of is that, mana engine that you can just dump things into and just win from there. I could be wrong if I'm probably misspeaking a lot. But basically, then you can say, okay, what's the most powerful commander that gives me more colors then? And so then you're like, okay, yeah, Tymna's great. She provides card advantage, and she gives you white and black, so it's 2 more colors. So it's a nice kind of just, oh, here's some extra good stuff just because. Versus just saying, oh, here's one commander and you've got, 2 colors to build around. You've got 4 now and 2 commanders to build around.
Right. So that should hopefully help prevent these 41 new monocolored commanders from going too crazy.
Yep.
Is kind of a counter to the common critique of partner that we just talked about. And so another critique that a lot of people bring up when talking about partners is that since they allow you to go into nearly any color identity, except for 5 color at the moment, they have the effect of pushing out older and more specific commanders.
Sure, yeah.
And so some people really love the nostalgia, they love the flavor, they like the unique effects that you can find on these crazy legends.
Yep.
And they think that partner just prevents these commanders from seeing any play. There's no reason why you would play some of these commanders when partner exists.
I mean, I think it still goes back to the argument, though, that, you can play with whatever commander you want. It's not just about building the most powerful deck. It's about playing with the ones that you want to. So yeah, there might, if you look at it kind of at an objective, objectively, why would you run this commander over these 2 partner commanders that are just better? It's because you just want to. So
yeah. It basically comes down to when you're building the deck, why are you building it? Are you building it because you want to play with Feldergriff in the command zone, or is it because you want to win a lot of games and play in these colors and it suits your play style?
Yep. Absolutely. So yeah, another point is that partner basically allows you to have, commander is an 8th card, right? Your commander is an 8th card, but having partners allows you to have an extra on top of that. So you basically have 9 cards to start out the game. You got your hand of 7, and then you've got 2 partner commanders, and 9 cards is a lot. And I think you put it here, sounds familiar, because it's about the companion mechanic and that kind of the problem that caused in standard, where having an extra card just basically for free in your hand to start the game. I mean, there is that requirement around it, but with certain ones in standard, it didn't really matter. It can be an extremely broken thing to give someone an inherent advantage by having an extra card in your hand.
Yeah, and these guys don't even have the good graces to just go to the graveyard. Partners just go back to the command zone. They have separate commander tax tracked. So,
which I don't think people actually realize kind of the benefit of that. That yes, you still have to pay commander tax for each when they die and you recast them, but you're paying separate commander tax. It's not just every single time you recast your commander, it's not an extra 2. It just depends on which one it is.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, so it's just a very powerful thing to have that extra card in your hand functionally.
Yep.
And that's pretty fair critique of partner. I don't really have a great way to defend that.
I don't know how you would solve it either, because if you did that, and said, okay, the commander tax applies for both, just one general commander tax applies for both, then that's kind of weird when you're like, okay, I cast Thrasios turn 2. Now Tymna costs 5 because it's not on when commander dies, it doesn't add the commander tax. It's when you cast that adds it. So that would be slightly problematic.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to balance if right now it's very powerful, but if they were to change the rules on it like they did Companion, it could easily make partner obsolete. There's no reason you would run partner, really, if that's
if you're just continually adding 2 for each partner.
So this is a fair critique in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last one you put here is partners don't always feel legendary, or they have flavor issues, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. So for example, partner, especially the unrestricted partners from 2016 and Commander Legends, they are purposely made to feel a little bit more generic. They don't have any incredibly unique abilities compared to a lot of other legendaries, and that's by design, so that way you can pair them up with any other partner and have a functional deck. So they tend to do very generic things like adding counters, drawing cards, things like that. And it, as far as from a flavor perspective, because they feel kind of generic, it kind of loses that legendary feeling that a lot of actual non-partner commanders tend to have.
Sure.
And it just feels weird to okay, Baron Sengir, this mono-black vampire, is going to team up with Thrasios, this merfolk from a different plane because of reasons.
Let's hang out. We're best buds now.
Yeah.
I can't remember who pointed this out. It might have been on Reddit or other podcasts or something like that. But someone pointed out basically that the new two, the red and the green one that have been spoiled, the uncommons, one of the flavor texts is nothing will ever break their bond. And it's Unless, one of them decides to go hang out with Baron Sengir and
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Just off on an adventure. They'll be
I
back.
said nothing would break our bond, but Baron, he's just so cool. I want to go hang out with him.
Yeah. And one counter to this is the partner with mechanic.
Yep.
So they are able to be specifically synergistic with each other.
Yep.
And it almost feels like the cards are playing off of each other.
There's
oftentimes.
a story to it. Even if you don't, read the magic lore or whatnot, you're like, oh, Pier and Toothy, oh, it's his imaginary buddy. Like,
they show up in each other's art, the flavor text, so
Yep.
they kind of retain some of that legendary, story-driven feel that the generic partners can lack. So if that's important to you, that's another critique of partner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to the benefits of partner, which I didn't realize that there are actually benefits.
Yeah. I had to think
this
about
section
these.
is blank.
Yeah, weird. Okay, so I think the most obvious benefit of partner is that there are strategies that people come up with, whether they used to play this old modern deck and they want to see if they can emulate that in Commander. One of our good friends, he was on Close Quarters as well, Alec, really loves cycling. So years ago, he decided to do a little thought experiment and he built his Ravos and Kaidel cycling deck well before Gavi, the 2020 commander, was ever a thing.
He was doing this before it was cool to cycle.
Yeah, he's super hipster, super awesome. And it really kind of goes to show that without partner that have these more generic benefits, that deck wouldn't necessarily be able to exist.
It would have been really hard to make because, again, you need, with cycling especially, cycling was a mechanic that saw some sets had cycling cards, but a lot didn't. It's not an evergreen mechanic before. I mean, I guess not still an evergreen, but, there were less cards back then with cycling. And so he needed access to as many colors as possible, essentially, while still having commanders actually kind of work with the cycling mechanic. And so having two partners that work with, kind of different pieces of cycling, and ones that kind of give him access to 4 colors, that was pretty optimal for his deck.
Yeah. So, and that's just a one case anecdote. There's plenty of other decks out there that, you have a strategy, you have a game plan, and you're trying to find a commander. If one doesn't exist on one card, build your own. Just make a couple partners, and they'll be pretty good. Yeah.
But not bear. I don't think there's any bear partners. Not yet.
There's 41 coming, so
bear partner, here we come.
That would be awesome. Yeah.
Oh man.
And so another benefit is that there's, with the advent of Commander Legends, going to be over 1,000 possible combinations, since all these new partners combined with all the old partners. I think I saw a few different estimates, and I didn't take the time to check their math, but anywhere from 1,300 to over 1,500 combinations.
Incredible, the number of combinations now. Where you said here too, rip EDH rec programmers. Good luck programming that. All the combinations. That's gonna be tough.
That's gonna be something.
Have fun.
Yep. I'll let you take this next one as well.
Yeah. So I mean, basically, again, if I'm supposed to be building every single deck in Magic's history or the commanders that I possibly can, now I've got an insurmountable task where I can never do that because there are incredible amounts of combinations of partner commanders where I could never do that. My apologies for being somewhat human. Somewhat.
Yeah, but
very human.
We'll take requests. We'll see if we can throw some
Don't
partners
say
together.
that.
Mitch
so
will
many
take some
comments that are
requests.
like this one or this one, this one.
All right. And so another benefit of partner, and this one's a little bit controversial, is that since they are kind of generic and they can conceal a game plan, especially if you're playing with a group of people that you've never played before, at what used to be Magic Fest's pre-COVID era.
Come back someday.
Someday. They could lend an element of surprise and keep your strategy kind of secret, which was kind of neat.
Absolutely.
And so they might not be able to guess your win condition, which was kind of a fun little mini game.
Absolutely. And maybe a secret commander in the deck somewhere too. It gives you access to more colors, so you can do a lot of fun things that you weren't going to be able to do. Maybe if you just picked one commander that wasn't 5 color and didn't really conceal your plan. So
yeah. So that's a fair benefit of partner in my book.
I like your next point. With partner with is also viable in 99 since they locate each other for the deck. So you've got plenty of synergistic cards in your deck, but there aren't many that tutor up the other kind of half of their combo or not combo, I guess, but synergy. So if you do want to just run Paladin Paco in your teamer deck, you can, and they're gonna, once you draw one, you basically get the other one too. So
yeah. So I think that's totally viable. Pure and Toothy are great in the 99. Like any other partner with kind of. You don't see as many of the unrestricted partners in the 99 of decks. There's a few. I know the new Brawlin who pairs with Shabraz, the
Yep.
Sky Shark.
Yep.
Brawlin is really good in discard decks, so
Yes.
sometimes you'll see just Brawlin
Yes.
in the list. So there's a few exceptions, but for the most part, you aren't going to be running partners in the 99. You'll have them at the helm of the deck.
Yeah, depends. I guess Peer is probably in like Super Friends decks because of
Yeah.
There's very specific ones, but yeah.
The partner with can definitely
Yes.
make appearances more often in the 99.
Yep, agreed.
Yep.
And then you said it's a design space specifically for a commander that Watsy seems like returning to. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something that Mark Rosewater, I believe, had said, like, we really like the partner mechanic. We just want to find a way that it's not too broken.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a good direction for it. I think that, limiting the number of colors is very important when it comes to not making incredibly broken combinations of commanders.
Yeah. So they've kind of taken the feedback from the original 2016 two-colored partners, understood that it was a bit controversial. Some people didn't really love what it was doing to the format. So since then, they've done partner with.
Yep.
And they've done these monocolored partners.
Yep.
And so as long as they continue going that direction and not changing partner in a way that makes it even more unrestricted or more broken.
Yep.
Cool.
They just need one that says, even if they do ever print a new two-color, commander, it just needs to be cannot partner with Thrasios. So. Fixed.
That'd be great.
Fixed.
Yeah. No 3-color partners, please.
So the last question we've got today is, will partner kill commander?
Yeah, that is the question.
And you just have one bullet point and it says yes.
Yeah.
Weird.
Partner. Yeah, commander's done for. Oof.
No, it says no. We've obviously survived Tim and Thrasios for plenty of time now. Basically, Commander is an extremely casual format, very social format where, even if there is, Urza running around right now, Urza's printed. Urza's the most broken thing ever. It didn't break the format because not everyone wants to play the most broken commander out there.
Yeah. As we talked about with the EDH rec stats for partner, we're pretty good at self-regulating.
Yep.
And I know that that's something the rules committee, when they've been on videos or Twitter or wherever they feel like showing up, has talked about. Like they are hesitant to do bans, which is one reason the ban list is fairly short by some people's metrics. They prefer to let a new broken card have some time in the wild before they decide to ban it.
Except for Lutri.
Which
deserved the ban.
Yeah,
I will say that again here.
Yeah, there's no reason.
For all you Otter fans out there, you got another Otter, okay? It just gives someone else an extra turn or whatnot. So
yeah. So
run that one.
And because of that, they've seen that partner, while very strong, hasn't been a scourge to the format. The numbers really just don't support it.
Yep.
So
I 100% agree. It's definitely, I think if your last point right here, you said it's going to will likely continue to define competitive EDH, but when it comes to partners, there's going to be more contenders to throw now too, with more partners and stuff like that. Maybe I doubt anything's going to take out Tim and Thrasios, with the one color community. But you never know. You never know.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Possible. We'll see. I could be eating my words here in a bit, but yeah, no, I don't think that that Commander's ever going to get killed by partners. It's going to be hard to kill Commander kind of anyway, because again, it is a casual format where play groups and the community at large kind of like self-polices, really.
Yeah.
So if everyone's running around Tim to Thrasios or just Urza decks, that might get pretty miserable at a certain point. But there's always those players, like me, who might want to play Feldegriff because it's just funny and give people hippos.
Yeah, I'm all for hippos. So
I will be giving you all your hippos, and then I will be stealing them and smacking you with them later.
That sounds fine.
Well, anything else, Eddie?
I don't think I have too much else. I think, like we said, there's definitely cause for concern with partner. It's a strong mechanic, but at the end of the day, there's many things that have had the potential to kill Commander, but we've shrugged them off, and I think we'll make it past this.
Yep, and I think that obviously Wizards now is kind of more aware of kind of the danger of stepping too far into Commander and kind of pushing it too far. And so they are going to, I think, if they continue to make more partners in the future, which I think they will, keep that in mind, not just, do a 3-color partner commander with the incredibly broken thing on it that does everything. So, or a prismatic piper that just partners with everything, apparently. That was a lot of P's.
Yes, absolutely. Let's hear what you guys think. Do you think partner is a scourge to the format? Do you think these 41 new monocolored commanders are gonna kill Commander?
Absolutely.
We'd love to hear your input.
So let us know in the comments below, and thanks again for joining me, Eddie.
You got it.
And as always, thanks again, and have a good one.